I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
All right, everybody, back into it. This is Oops, the podcast. We're excited to talk to you today. So much on the plate. As ever, joined by my dear friend, Giulio Gallerati. How are you?
Here we go, baby.
Yeah, this is it.
Here we go.
All right, I have a number of protocol questions for you.
Oh, wow.
Because you're the person that
I'm the protocol guy?
I think you have a good sense of how things are supposed to go when it's not explicitly
Okay, I got you.
put out as to how rules should be followed that are not written.
Social protocol.
Here's one.
Okay.
I was in Florida for the weekend visiting my family.
Awesome.
The beach in front of the house, public beach.
Yes.
Okay. People set up fishing rods, and they are unmanned fishing rods.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm talking about?
I, of course, do.
They throw some lines in the water far out there, and then they dig a hole. They've got those little PVC tubes, and they stick the
them
rod
in there.
And then they go sit in their chairs and drink their beers or play Mancala in the sand. I don't know what they're doing. And then if they see a jerk on the rod, they hop up and start reeling.
Okay. I thought when you said a jerk on the rod, like some guy ran by. Then I realized what you meant by that.
Yeah, stay with me here,
Like
Julio.
the rod jerking.
Stay with me here.
Okay.
So, here's my question. Am I allowed to swim in the water near where the lines
That's a good
are
question.
in?
Dude, at your own risk, buddy. You don't want to get hooked on the fucking...
I mean, okay, within 10 yards. In such a way where I'm probably scaring away the fish.
So, I mean, it just sounds super unpleasant because you need to keep an eye on the fucking reel.
Okay, but I know where the
You
line
know where the
is.
line is?
I know where
Okay.
the line is. I mean, how, my question is, do I need to move so far down the beach out of deference to maintaining the stillness of the
Okay,
water
this is good.
such that the fish
This is good.
won't be scared off because he's there first? Or who's doing the more ocean upsetting activity? Am I within my rights to swim in the ocean more than he's within his rights to be fishing in the ocean?
Yeah, so my limited knowledge about fishing, it seems like the ocean is the fucking ocean. So like you swimming around isn't going to change the fish's behavior necessarily. Maybe if they see you right there, but to your point, you're not near the line. It's not like you're fishing in a pond or a lake where like the water's still.
So, yeah, this is a great point, right? Because it's the ocean. It's a public
it's the
beach.
ocean.
Lots of people wearing goggles, splashing around, right? If it were a rushing river with rapids in Montana and there were fly fishermen, and then all of a sudden I came down hooting and hollering down the bank and cannonballed into that freezing cold water,
Yeah.
maybe I'm the asshole there.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe I am.
But still, I mean, if it's a kind of babbling brook, theoretically you wouldn't be scaring much because the fish are going to go where they're going anyway, right?
I don't know, man. I create a lot of disturbance in the water.
Okay, so let's
I don't just go in there. I fool around.
let's get.
I'm
let's
fooling.
You spent a lot of time in there.
In the water?
Yeah.
Oh, sure do.
You do.
Yeah.
What are you doing in there?
I like to see things. I have some good goggles now. Goggles have really
that's fun.
improved in my lifetime.
That's fun.
And so I've got some good ones that are actually tinted. So not only do I see well when I'm underwater, but when I come out of the water, I'm not blinded by the sun.
Okay.
And the point is
That's
that
interesting.
I'm wearing these goggles from the house down. I'm not even. That's how much I like the goggles. I put them on inside.
Okay. This is. I picture that. I picture you coming down to the beach in your goggles, excited.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, I'm almost wearing them as sunglasses. I almost am.
They are
to the
tinted.
point where
They are tinted.
By the time that I walk onto the beach, everyone knows what I'm about to do. The fishermen know that I'm going in, lines and hooks be damned. So I'm going in the water. Now, I'm looking for sand dollars. I'm looking for underwater life.
Right.
You know, I like to just One thing I like to do too is I like to experience the temperature of the water sort of at the top near the surface,
Yeah.
and then go a little bit lower and feel how much cooler it
I know,
gets.
dude. I actually hate that.
You do?
I like to find it. I like my warm pocket, and then when the cold comes by, it's just like really frustrating that it's not consistent. I don't spend as much time in the ocean.
But if
as
it's
I used
really
to.
warm as it was
Right.
outside, then you almost, I was seeking that
I see.
cool reprieve
I see.
on the lower layer.
I see.
It's a bit like a molten chocolate cake.
Oh yeah.
Where the top is,
Layers.
cakey, and then all of a sudden, ooh, totally different consistency just below. Just below.
Gooey and ready to fucking go.
Yeah, so I'm doing all kinds of things. That's one thing I like to do. I like to look for sand dollars. I like to look for conch shells, and sometimes I'll go down and I'll pick up a conch shell and I'll pull it out of the water and ask myself, "Oh, is this still living? Is this still alive?" And sometimes you'll see a tiny hole that has been bored into the top where some larger creature sucked
Fished it out.
that delicious conch hamburger right out of that shell.
Dude, yeah, I'm amazed at your like exploration capacity. I didn't realize you were this much of like a submariner,
I can
dude.
spend so many hours in the water, you wouldn't believe it. And if I'm properly covered in sunscreen and have let it sink into my skin such that I'm protected for a while, then I really will lose myself in the surf.
That's fun, dude.
And then you kind of I don't know, another game I like to play is sometimes I will lie with my face down in the water, on my sort of
Floating.
floating, and not move for so long that I want the people on shore to worry that I have died. That something happened and they should have been a little more attentive.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
I wonder, I've never
fucked up.
gone to the point where people have started screaming. Nobody's ever come to check on me, unfortunately. But I think that's just something that comes with time, where if you can
Yeah, you need to learn how to hold your breath for longer.
extend the capacity of your lungs, then you'll get to a point where people will say, "Whoa, I've read 6 pages of my book since the last time that we saw him take a breath," whatever it may be.
Dude, that's fucking funny.
Well, so I like to. I do. So yeah. What do you got?
No, I want to go back to the fishing question.
Yeah.
But if you had like,
I still feel like I have some other things I can tell you. I like
keep
to do
adding to the. I'd like yes.
underwater.
Keep adding.
So another thing I like to do is maybe I'll do a little body surfing, but there's not great waves where we were, so that doesn't really last very long. I get bored of that quickly.
Body surfing is really sort of a letdown in general, I find. My dad likes doing it, and I enjoy watching him like trying to assess where to catch the wave and stuff. It's sort of like, again, that role reversal where I'm like, all right, sport, come on in for dinner. You know?
Nice.
But okay, so body
If you
surfing.
catch a really good wave body surfing, it's pretty. That feeling is good.
But it's like you have to do it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like we used to try to do it in Rhode Island, and it never worked because the waves would kind of peak too high, and then you just batter yourself into the floor.
It does get very dangerous. That's where you can
Hurt
break
yourself.
your spine.
Yeah, you need to.
If you get tossed straight down, if it's too shallow,
You need to
Yeah.
catch like an already broken one that's broken a little far out, and then like ride it in.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like it's nicer to have sort of like tools.
A boogie board.
Boogie board, if you can surf or whatever. If you can do like higher elevated sort of like
Yeah.
surf activities.
You're right about that. I would say that body surfing is the recorder to the surfing piano.
Yes, totally. That's good. I thought you were going to say flute, but also
Well,
yeah,
that would
it's
be
even
good
more
too.
extreme.
You could keep it in the woodwind family, and just stick along that line. It's a little more linear. I like that. That's a better analogy that you've done. And if I had had more
thank you.
time, I might have gotten there.
I appreciate it.
Well, the point is, I'm spending lots of time in there, and I know that I'm probably disturbing the fish. I'm certainly not going to go into the water around the lines and tiptoe or walk on eggshells, so to speak.
So I'm just surprised that that's even allowed. Like, is there a lifeguard on this beach?
No,
Weird. So what is this fucking beach? Is there not like...
it's a public beach.
But there's a ton of people, like most public beaches, right? Isn't there like a lifeguard usually?
Yeah, this is not.
Then it'll be like no fishing, no surfing after so and so time, right?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. This is. I mean, you can have dogs not on leashes on this beach.
Dude? This beach, bro, is like
It's a good beach.
it's like anarchy.
It's very. It's not. There's not a lot of depth to it.
okay.
So the distance from the mangroves to the let's say the dunes to the water level, even at low tide, is probably no more than, I don't know, 20 yards,
okay.
30 yards maybe.
Okay.
So if you had a young son,
Yeah.
and he was at the top of the beach and you were the father, you could have a catch with him. He could probably throw
Got
you
it. Got it.
a ball.
To where the water is coming up to.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm surprised that that's allowed. My initial thought is there's sort of this like beach trick that like people try to make private beaches happen, but then there's always a guy who's like, all beaches are public technically as long as you can access the beach itself. Like, have you heard people say this?
Well,
What is that? Is that
it's-
even real?
It's interesting you say this. I've heard the opposite.
That there are actually private. Chris, is there any way to look this up?
We had an
Like
we
private
had a
beach rules.
we had a little bit of a snafu where we tried to ask this. Oh my God, we're gonna table the lines in the water, the jurisdiction question for a second, because I want to throw this at you
Okay.
in light of what you just said. So there was a family in front of our house on the beach, within 20 yards of our house, and a mother with, let's say, an 8-year-old boy, a 11-year-old girl, and a 13-year-old girl.
Okay.
And they had set up camp for the day.
Okay.
She's applying sunscreen to the youngest boy. He's spindly, you know?
What's that?
The type of boy who at that age has no muscle definition, but you suspect that his lack of definition will someday push him to working out a lot.
Got it. Yes.
All bones and shoulder blades, you know?
Yes.
Wiry. Jointed, let's say. So applying sunscreen, and they have a boom box, a full-blown stereo type thing, and it's facing, they're at the top of the beach, so very close to the
entrance
gate
to your situation.
to our house, and the boom box is facing our house, but the three of them, or the four of them rather, are on the other side of the boom box. And I would think if you're on the beach and you're setting up music for the day, you would point your music down the beach towards the
Absolutely.
water,
Absolutely.
towards you.
Yes.
But for some reason, they had it facing the other way. Dude, I am not exaggerating or making this up in the slightest. They were playing the deepest, hardest house music I have heard since like visiting Eastern Europe. Since I went to Serbia
High
like 5 years ago.
BPM, intense.
It was no words. It was in like bass, like just you know, really, really intense. So not what you would assign as a playlist to this group of people. A
What were
mother and her young kids.
What were they like?
They were totally normal. There were no signs that they were like a family that cooks meth together.
Right,
They were
right.
not like heavily tattooed, no gauge earrings, no, I don't even know. None of the kids were like vaping. I don't even know.
There were no like signs like, oh, this could be troublesome.
The mother was far more likely to hand out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches than
too.
press play on this playlist.
Yes. Got
Does
it.
that make
Yes.
sense? And a pack, like a Ziploc bag of grapes that they would share.
Yeah, right.
That it was a wholesome family on paper, but for this very anomalous music that they were playing. So I walked past them and I'm like, man. And it was loud. It was really loud. And no one on the beach was playing music.
Were there other people on the beach?
Tons.
Oh, wow.
Close.
So this is the same beach that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
this fucking beach is wild, bro.
yeah.
You never know what you're going to get down there.
Yeah. and I go into the I go into the water, and I'm just kind of confused. It was confusing. I'm trying. I wish you could have heard the song that was playing.
Was it?
No. More like dark techno nightclub,
Okay.
less melodic,
Yeah. No, I actually get it. Like,
deep house.
but not like the sexy summer deep house, like the dark cauldron deep house.
Yeah, not airport lounge, not smooth transitions that follow some kind.
Do you ever see the movie Mortal Kombat? Do you remember the opening scene? Do you guys remember? No one's gonna understand this,
new
remember?
one?
The original one.
No, but
There's
I know
this
that song.
Sonya
Dun, dun,
Blade-
dun, 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 dun.
No, that's
That would
Beverly
be way
Hills
more
Cop.
melodic if they'd
That's
been
Beverly
playing
Hills
that.
Cop.
Okay.
You're thinking of dun, 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 Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. No, that would have.
Dun, 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 dun.
If it had been that, that would have been closer to suiting this family.
Okay, what I'm talking about, the opening scene, Sonya is in this nightclub with her partner Jax. She's looking for Kano. And it's this like underground nightlife, like music that like you wouldn't even hear anymore, and a scene that no longer exists.
Okay.
But like the vibe you're describing, Eastern Europe.
Do you remember?
Dark.
Do you remember the story we once heard that was proven to be a myth about that girl who was traveling and she woke up in
With
a
no
bathtub
kidney?
of ice, and they had removed her kidney?
Yes.
Some doctor. So imagine that the doctor who theoretically performed that surgery listened to music while doing it. This would be the song he was listening to.
Okay.
Okay. Did you ever see the movie Hostel?
Yes, I did.
Okay. If
great
there were a
movie.
playlist
Great horror movie. by the
for
way.
that movie that these depraved lunatics would play while going in and severing the Achilles of these poor, kids, that this would be that music. So, okay. You get it.
Yes, I get it.
I go past them and I'm like, boy, that is disruptive and such a strange choice. My mom comes out to join me for a swim too. And as she's walking by, she goes, I'm so sorry. Like, would you mind just turning that down a little? And the woman goes, it's a public beach.
That's so annoying.
And my mom was like, all right, comes in the water. And it's just, and you're just like, what happened to these people?
Oh,
How
God.
is this their family scene, choice, whatever?
It's so odd.
Yeah. So, I then have so many visions for how to solve these people.
Yeah.
And the first is that somehow, like, I get a bucket of water and I'm coming back up the beach and I pretend to trip and I just pour water all over their speakers. Right? Oh, I'm so sorry. Apologize
public
profusely.
I'm so sorry. Here's
Yeah.
a Best Buy gift certificate.
Yeah, whatever. Like, find some or do something. Or, I don't even know, but I'm just going through these scenarios in my head, and somehow doing that makes me feel better. My imagination wins this exchange.
That's good.
Do you ever
That's
do
healthy.
you find that those sort of daydreams
They don't help me.
They don't?
No, because I'm like, I should just do these things that I'm thinking of. Now, granted, nothing as extreme as destroying these people's speaker, but just essentially being more confrontational about it and being like, let's fucking throw down. I don't know. I'm not gonna do
So
that.
your mind goes to such an extreme that you just know there's no way you could ever do it.
Like taking the L in that situation, it's just bothersome. It's like clearly this person is not, when you're on the beach together, to your point, these people fishing and leaving their fucking rod when everyone's trying to swim, these are selfish decisions that go against sort of the collaborative spirit of what the beach should be. Adhere to your own zone. Don't go crazy with the music if it's a if it's a public beach. Play your music, but don't be crazy. I
Right.
shouldn't be able to hear it from 50 yards away
Right.
at all with the breeze and the everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
And these are things that we all sort of protocol-wise, we sort of adhere to them so that we can all enjoy the beach,
That's true.
since it is a public beach.
Yeah.
So don't come with your stupid music and then get ready to fucking fight when someone asks you if you could turn it down.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. I think that's a
Pisses
nice
me
thought.
off, dude.
That is a nice thought. Yeah, the beach is a sacred place that should be enjoyed by all. Well, okay. So back to
The fishing, dude. The fishing thing to me is unacceptable. Fuck those guys. You should do whatever you want. They're not even there. What are they doing in there? You're not even fishing. Are they like selling the fish? What's the point of fishing if you're not even there? What's the fun of fishing? Because they go lay down and then they come get it if they see a jerk.
Yeah.
They should at least lay next to the pole and go in an area where there's not a lot
Do
of people
you mean
swimming.
lie next to the pole?
Sorry, yes. Solid callback. Lie next to the pole. That's very solid.
Well,
Right?
I'll add, it is very, I think it's an established fishing beach.
Okay.
The island is Boca Grande in Florida, and it's a fishing hotspot.
Isn't like early morning or dusk when people fish usually in that kind of off the shore?
I think so. But there are people that are out during
Still
the
during the
day
day.
doing this.
Dude, whoever's in charge of the beach, the town needs to like separate the fishing where you can fish and where you can't.
They have a pier that is farther down the beach a long way, and people do fish off that, but those people are fishing for really serious fish.
Okay.
Bonita.
Oh, nice.
I mean, these things fight you for
That's a good
30
fish.
minutes or something before you can
Are you
get
a
them in.
fisherman at all?
No,
Not really either.
I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. But I've had so little success that I can't say that I'm a fisherman.
Interesting.
I can't subscribe to it as a hobby because I can't stand how boring it can be when it doesn't go perfectly.
Right. Theoretically, it's an activity that I think that I would enjoy, but I have never come to really like, you chill, you can hang with one of your boys and like
Yeah.
have a good campfire talk and catch fish, and it seems like it should be peaceful, but it just bores. I get bored.
You know what we would probably be better suited for is fly fishing out in sort of like a Jackson Hole type area.
Like in the middle of, do you have that there?
Oh yeah.
Big time?
Oh, those rivers, the Salmon River up in
I've seen people doing it.
in Montana, Idaho.
Yeah.
You you wade out in your waders. People go out in the winter, and you got the full waders on that come up to it's like a bib.
Yeah.
Comes all the way up, and you're up to your chest, to your navel.
It's crazy.
And you're casting. So there's activity, there's motion.
Yeah.
You're finding holes, you're reeling, you're attaching different flies. That's cool. You got flies on your hat.
You connect it to the...
Yeah.
Interesting.
You just keep your different flies. Oh, they're not biting on the black fly. Let's try the swimmer magoos.
It's a big operation, though. It really requires a lot of like energy and like planning, and I don't know, dude. Something about uniforms to me, like you kind of like lose me at uniforms.
Really?
A little bit.
Ooh, I think activities for which there is a specific attire tend to be enhanced.
Attire is one thing, but like a specific article that is only used for this specific activity, I tend to kind of bow out in that situation.
That's a lot of activities.
Like
that
what?
you
though?
are.
There's only a couple that I can think of, like skiing being one of them. I've never really skied, but the idea of beginning skiing feels overwhelming because of that. And fly fishing, and like what else?
Are you not going bowling because you have to have bowling shoes on?
No. But that's easy. That's an easier situation because you get them at the alley. You literally walk in, and all you have to do is put on bowling shoes, and then you're good.
Well, you go skiing, you rent ski boots at the mountain.
But what about the whole? You don't have to get an outfit too. That can be like a.
I think once
multi-purpose.
you've decided that you love skiing, that's when you
That's when
start
you get it.
investing in an outfit.
So all you need is the boots and the skis.
Yeah, and some goggles, helmet.
Okay, now you know.
Yeah, there's
This
a
is
little
starting
bit
to
more of
become
a
a
get
little
up.
bit
Yeah, a little
more-
bit more of a get up there. What about go-karting? They put you in one of those onesies with that full visor helmet.
They don't do that.
Sure do.
They do?
Oh, yeah.
No, but not at the go-karting I'm doing, dude. At the local carnival. Where I'm just pinning 12-year-olds against the wall. You little motherfucker.
Yeah. Nice.
Fuck, dude. Well,
All right. Well, okay. So your thought is those people shouldn't even be fishing on the beach. I'm allowed to go swim around those lines.
Yes, 100%.
Nobody can be mad at me.
100%. Because, dude, again, like getting too close to the line is just like not in your best interest because something changes. All of a sudden, you got a magoo in you, like you said, whatever. You're hooked now.
Yeah.
Your ears pierced against your will.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good thought. All right. Then I won't feel bad about that. Okay, good. That's a major protocol issue closed. I'm glad we got
Good,
your
I'm glad.
ruling on
Yeah,
that.
That's how I feel about that.
Okay, I got another protocol question,
Great.
which might take up the remaining half of the podcast. Okay, but these things need to be solved. I think these have universal applications. Lots of people out there wonder whether they can swim around active fishing
Dude,
lines.
I promise you this. I doubt that there's another comedy podcast that has talked about that. Or about a lot of the things we talk about. Dude, even I was looking at our episode description for the episode that came out today, and just the topic after topic, I was like, dude, no one else is doing this, dude.
We're thinking outside the box.
I was feeling really good. I was like,
There
no
are
one else
zany
is.
ideas. All right. Well, here's one I think really does have a truly universal application.
Okay.
All right. Let's say you're on a 2.5-hour flight, as I was yesterday.
Okay.
Okay? I have the window seat. Full flight.
Okay.
2 seatmates to my right. I'm on the left side, obviously. Window seat. An hour and 15, 20 minutes in, I have to use the bathroom.
Okay.
I have to pee because I've been drinking a lot of water because I'm afraid of being dehydrated on an airplane.
Okay.
I gently tap the shoulder of the person on my right. I gotta get up. No problem. She says to the guy to her right, guy has to get out. The guy in the aisle made such a show of harumphing,
Oh, God,
of okay, unplugs his headphones, pauses his movie, tucks his things, unbuckles his seatbelt. Now it got even worse. Get this. They all file out. The flight attendant who had the drink cart had just passed us, or was just about to pass us. So now, in order for me to get to the bathroom,
You're about to get pinned.
I somehow have to get around the drink cart.
Yes.
And the flight attendant, the guy, looked at the guy in the aisle and realized that, I had to get to the bathroom and get around. And he was like, oh, just give me 1 second. No problem. He gets it, right? The guy in the aisle goes, it wasn't my idea.
What a dick.
As though I was sitting in my seat on the airplane and thought, I have an idea. I'll use the bathroom. At a very inopportune moment for everybody involved.
Oh, my God, dude.
How does that sound for an idea?
That's terrible.
It's not an idea. It's a bodily impulse. I had no choice. Let me tell you this. I had been uncomfortable for 30 minutes. And 35 minutes probably. I would have not been able
Yeah, you couldn't
comfortably
hold it.
to suck it up for the remaining hour and 15 minutes. Trust me, I looked at the flight map on the screen to see how much time we had left. I did not initiate the exodus of our row lightly.
Totally. Dude,
This was a painful, bladder
you didn't want to do
needing
it.
moment.
You didn't want to do it.
Call to nature. And my question is, who's in the wrong there?
Dude, the guy with 100% of the time, 100% in this situation, that guy's an asshole. And it sucks. Like, flights just bring it out of people, dude. And it's amazing when people decide that they get to go against the grain and stuff like that. That's how this works. God forbid you have to get up to let this guy go pee. That's how it works, dude.
Yeah. You want
That is complete nonsense.
You want to hear some
It's so annoying.
the most beautiful ironic brush stroke?
Yes, please.
Most beautiful ironic garnish atop this
Absolutely.
creme brulee. Because I went to the bathroom, he went to the bathroom as well.
Which is how he
He thought, oh well, after
Might as
this
well.
big display of my you've really put me out. I might as well. You've reminded me that I too need to use the bathroom, and
which is what he should have just sort of realized before huffing and puffing and saying it wasn't my idea.
Right.
That he then, in fact, the fact that it was not his idea, you helped him by giving him the idea.
I
He
made his
realized
life better. Yeah.
he had to go.
I helped him.
You worked toward the greater good.
He's welcome.
Dude, this kind of behavior, man, it just should not be tolerated, and I wish there was some way that somebody could intervene. It's not okay. Dude, I saw this happen. This is great. So when I went to Florida, or we were flying to Atlanta, and this guy, Zach Mitchell, who came with us, a friend of mine, like helps me with booking some of my road stuff, whatever. He comes down, right? He's sitting in the aisle. There's a guy sitting in the middle. At the beginning of the flight, and dude, Zach was tired. He'd only slept a few hours. He was looking forward to getting a couple hours of shut eye on this flight. The guy next to him, I'm like 2 rows behind watching this whole thing happen. He goes, hey, can we switch? I'm going to be going to the bathroom a lot. Which, like, pick your fucking seat then, you idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Pick your seat.
Zach had the
Zach
aisle.
had the aisle. This guy had the middle. So of course Zach's not going to switch. He goes, sorry. He's like, I'll just get up. The guy goes, it's going to be a lot. And he goes, okay, dude. Like, sorry. Like I'll just get, so then it's like tense. In a 2-hour flight, the guy proceeds to go to the bathroom 6 times.
Wow.
And he kept getting up, dude. And then he kept coming back to the seat and like putting his hand or his head in his hands, being like, it must have been the shrimp. It must have been saying aloud. Dude, it was crazy. It was so crazy. And every time Zach got up, dude, I could tell that he had just... Dude, it was crazy. It was fucking crazy. I could tell that Zach had just fallen asleep, too, every time he got up. And he would just look at me and this, like, he was like... Dude, it was... I felt so bad for him, dude.
I mean, can I say that, to me, that... it sounds like... let's put it this way. If I were a desperate cocaine addict, that's the scene. That's what I would put as my smokescreen.
Oh, interesting.
Who with diarrhea guesses, hypothesizes out loud as to why it's happening?
Dude, it was the most insane behavior I've ever seen. And this is what I was thinking, because at the end of the flight, he apologized to Zach. He's like, I'm sorry. Which is what he should have led with. If I was in the middle and I fucked that up that bad, I'd be like, dude, I'm so sick. Like, I feel terrible. I'm like, obviously, I'm going to like take care of everything in the bathroom. I'll literally Venmo you $100 right now if you switch with me.
Yeah.
And then I would just switch for free. You know what I mean?
But
like, be as
but how far
accommodating-
off is what he did from that?
Dude, he said, can we switch? I'm going to be going to the bathroom a lot.
You think he
was
needed to
rude.
say, I'm sick?
He was just...
If you add sick,
Sure.
then it allows it.
And you have to acknowledge how fucking shitty it is to give up the aisle seat that you've so delicately selected because the other 2 seats suck ass.
It is possible. First of all, to your point of select your seat, sometimes you just get boned and you're booking your flight late.
It happens.
Nothing else available, right? But I don't hate the move from that guy. I wasn't there to see the tone.
The tone was bad.
I wasn't there to see the tone.
Rude.
But at the very least, putting it out there, to me, is better than
Step in the right direction.
getting up 6 times during a flight without even letting the guy in the aisle know. He gave Zach the chance. He laid it out there.
Okay, fine. But like no politeness involved at all. This guy, wherever the hell this guy grew up, he did not learn a single manner. And
That's a shame.
He's not well suited for this kind of interaction, apparently. I'm sure he meant well. I agree with what you're saying. Surprising him with getting up 6 times would have been more brutal.
Interesting.
But dude, this is perfect. This is a perfect segue into a poll that I posted on my Instagram story yesterday. They got a ton. It was very controversial. It ended up being controversial. So here was the question. There's a lot of things involved. I want to hear your thoughts.
Sure.
Would you prefer to sit in like the 6th or 7th row on the plane in the middle seat, or in row 27, but the aisle or the window?
I'm for sure row 27, aisle or window.
For sure, every
100%.
position.
I don't care about getting off the plane quickly.
Okay.
I really don't.
So I'm only asking because I don't actually know for myself what the right answer is.
How is this a question?
So because, dude, to me, getting off the plane it can be kind of nice because, like, if you didn't check a bag and you're in the 8th row versus the 27th row, you're like literally home significantly faster, or to your destination significantly faster.
You're talking,
which can be nice.
You're talking
15, 20 minutes.
No, I don't know if it's that.
Well,
I
guess
you know.
Well, it depends. But all right, if you're like arriving in another country where you have to go through customs, it makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Passport control.
When you've come home, assuming you have global entry, I guess it doesn't matter as much.
No. Any international flight, I think being towards the front of the plane
It's helpful.
At the very least, gives you the peace of mind that you're not stuck
Yeah.
behind people. And not for nothing, if I am in towards the back of a plane on a big international flight, like a 747 with 4 seats in the middle and 3 on either side, I get off the plane and I will legitimately, that Olympic sport of speed walking.
Yes.
I pass so many people on because often the gate of your airplane is very far from the passport control.
Right.
All in
You
those
can make
international
up-
airports, you have a long way to go, and
Yeah.
I will you sort of jog almost, and you give the look of I'm late for a connecting flight, but you're going to passport control,
Right.
and
right,
you can
right,
pass.
Right. That's good,
For
actually.
every person you pass, you feel like you're adding time to your life.
Yeah, you're right. You're
And
right.
you're physically gaining ground,
It's a nice thing.
and that's nice, and it makes up for the pain in your lungs of being out of breath from jogging, with bags in your hands and things like that.
It's a very excellent point. It's worth doing to try to get to hustle there.
Now, I do have one last thought on the bathroom situation.
Okay. Yes.
Which is that if you are on a flight that is an hour and a half or less, and you're sitting in the window, and you get up to go to the bathroom,
You're shitty.
um,
If you gotta go, you gotta go.
if you
I
gotta go,
get-
you gotta
I see where
go,
you're getting
and
at.
things happen, and I get that, but think of this, right? If you know that you have had a lot of water, or whatever, you should try to. Most people should try to go to the bathroom before a flight. Most people do,
Yeah.
because people just don't like using the bathroom on the plane.
It's annoying.
Sucks.
And plus, like, if the plane starts bumping around, now you're in the bathroom, fucking
Yeah.
banging your head on the
Gross.
side. of the thing.
Trying to
It
wash your
sucks.
hands in that little sink
Yeah.
and stuff the hand towels in the trash without touching the edges of the trash can, and then having it flap back up and hit you in the hands and thinking you should probably wash your hands again. It's a very unsanitary place. Seeing yourself in that mirror, you look haunted and ghoulish. The sickly pallor, that
That's very good.
terrible lighting, whatever it is.
very
And then you
good.
always ask yourself that question, which is there enough room in here for me to potentially have sex with somebody? How on earth do people have sex in these tiny bathrooms? It's only one position feasible, and even then it's not great.
Totally.
So all of that, I think that if you go to the bathroom before a flight and you can't hold it for an hour and a half or less, you're just an under-evolved person. You are.
So
You're
listen,
a needy person. You're not somebody that's good to bring on road trips.
you're not great, but I don't think you're wrong. Like, I think that the guy who huffed and puffed was wrong. That guy was wrong.
I think he was wrong because
You shouldn't be doing that.
because I was within my rights given the length of the flight and how long I waited.
Dude, sit in the fucking window, dude. If you're gonna have a problem with people getting up, is this your first time on a plane? Hello.
Yeah.
Does he do this every time? Like, what a fucking asshole, dude.
But here's another point, right? If I go to the bathroom in the first 20 minutes, like the second we reach cruising altitude, first 20 minutes of the flight, or last half hour of the flight, there's a little assholishness in that too.
To you?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
because
you can't even go right. When cruising altitude begins, the beverage service starts. And sometimes they'll literally be like, don't go to the bathroom until after we've concluded the beverage service. And the final half hour is the initial descent. So you're not supposed to be going anyway.
No, I know, but
There's a small window.
right before
Okay.
that.
Okay. In the at the beginning.
Beginning or
Right,
end.
okay,
The point being, if you're going that early, you should have gone before the flight because you probably had to go to the bathroom before
Yeah,
that.
fair.
The exception being, of course, if you were rushing for the flight and you didn't have time and you whatever.
A lot of variables.
If there's only half an hour left, hold it.
Yeah.
You
agreed.
made it this long.
You're right. You're
hold
right.
it.
You're right. That's all. Those are very fair. But dude, okay.
I was dead center of our flight. Exactly halfway
I don't
through.
think- I don't
didn't
think it
have
matters.
enough time to make it to the end.
To me, it doesn't matter. You gotta pee. You gotta pee. They're bringing a bunch of water because it's too short of a flight to give you real stuff. You just have 6 fucking cups of water full of pee, dude. You gotta go. You gotta go.
But this is here's another thing I wonder about, right? Do you know how okay, so did you watch that great Hulu series about the opioid crisis?
You know what? I never did.
Oh,
I've heard
it's
so
superb.
good. I need to watch it.
You should watch it. It's really
My
good.
parents recommended it as well.
So one of the big things, and by the way, you still see this at doctors' offices. It's that pain chart with the smiley faces.
Oh yeah.
That's been around for like 20 years. And it's like on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain? Right? Well, I think pain is probably a very relative thing.
Right.
What you feel at a 4 might be a 7 for another person, or you might just have a higher tolerance for pain, or you might have experienced such blinding, horrific pain in your life that
This isn't as bad.
you have what the ceiling is,
You're
and nothing
10,
else
yeah.
compares to that.
Right.
So a broken arm to you might be a 5 compared to that time you got your foot stuck in the under the car. I don't know, whatever it is.
Right. Underneath the like industrial
Yeah.
chainsaw.
Whereas somebody else gets a splinter, but they've lived a somewhat safe life. That splinter might be an 8 for them.
Right.
Because they've never had
Yes.
the foot, in the meat grinder. So
Is this in you're comparing this to having to pee? The how badly you have to pee?
exactly. I wonder all the time whether or not the person that is getting up to go to the bathroom, how badly do they really need to go? Because I'm only getting up from that window seat if my needs are painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Dude,
my,
yeah, yes,
if my,
you really
if my
have to go.
bladder is
'Cause
bursting,
it sucks.
I know I'm displacing people.
That's why I sit in the aisle. Even though my left knee or right knee will poke out into the aisle so much that I know that I'm going to be woken up by either getting hit by the cart
Right.
or somebody like hit it. Like I'd rather that than have to be in that situation that you're describing.
I was an aisle guy for the first 24 or 5 years of my life.
And you've switched.
I'm a
now.
window guy now because most of the time I am the
don't pee.
least likely bathroom user on an airplane.
Interesting.
I can hold it for longer. I don't want to be displaced.
Yeah.
But I wonder about that all the time. I look at people who ask to get up and go to the bathroom, and I say, on a scale of 1 to 10,
How badly?
how badly do you need to go? And if you're feeling this at a 7 and that's my 4, do I really think you deserve to go to the bathroom?
Dude, this makes this even more compelling to me because of how like little compassion you have for people who need to pee.
I think you just
In a situation where you deserve compassion. Here's the question that I have. Bringing the golden rule to the forefront of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you were that guy, would you have been annoyed at you?
It's a great question. It's a great question. And unfortunately, I do a lot of profiling when I judge the person who's getting up
Who's
to pee.
making the move?
If it's a tiny young woman, I just say, I saw this coming. Of course you can't
Because
make it
she's
2.5.
small and-
Yeah, women pee all the time, constantly. There's just one pee to the next. That's what they do, and she probably doesn't have a very big bladder. I get it. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. She's probably feeling those pee pains acutely and needs to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
And that's just the way it is, right? Then on the flip side, let's say that you have a guy like the shrimp victim.
Yes.
My heart breaks for that man. I know he is in a catastrophic situation. What could be worse than having to take 6 shits on an airplane? Taking one
he was
shit on
barfing,
an
too.
airplane.
I think he was
barfing.
vomiting.
I mean, my God.
But dude, you can also tell the fucking flight attendants, I am sick. Can you do something? Is there something we can do? They'll help you. Why is Zach now involved? He's just a guy minding his own business, taking a short flight to Atlanta where he was hoping to get a little
What
shut
are those flight attendants going to do? Maybe move you to a better seat?
Yeah.
At best, what if they can't do that?
Put you in the back of the flight attendant's seat.
The jump seat?
Yeah.
I've never known anyone who was cool enough to have that for
21
the flight.
jump seat, dude. If you're sick, throw it back there. No, but I don't know. I bet they can do something. Like, I wonder this too, dude. When they're like, hey, you're in an exit row. If you're not willing to like open it when we fucking crash, let us know. What if you said, hey, I didn't realize, like, can you move me? What would they do? I actually shouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, then they would
just make you
they
co-pilot?
Would scoop somebody. They would
They'd
swap
move someone else
because
there.
everybody wants the
It's a
exit
good
seat.
row. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Dude, I have a really, 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 really good plane etiquette one to share right now.
Please.
It's
That's what
really,
we're on right now.
really good. Okay. There's a little bit of backstory required, but this
Okay,
is very,
no problem.
very good.
We've got time. Mine took quite a long time.
No. So there's two important things here. So the first one is one of the great hacks on an international flight. I've probably brought this up. Bring a pen. You're gonna have to fill out some shit.
that's good.
Even if you filled it out online, a lot of these places, they're like not ready yet to process the online form, and you may have had to print it beforehand. So you need the pen. This actually happened to me. I was in Mexico for a wedding the last weekend. So I have a pen. Naturally, that pen is worth fucking $1 million when you're the only one who pulls it out, and all of a sudden everybody's trying to borrow it, right?
Right.
Which is completely fine. That's fine. Happy to let everybody borrow it. Now, a couple things here come into play. First of all, for some reason on the flights to Mexico, everybody thinks it's like a great idea to just get hammered. I don't know why. And to be honest, like it's really, I don't understand the thought process. And I get that like it seems like a good idea. Oh, we're on vacation. Let's get it started. Like you're going to have to fucking land, find your transportation, get in the car, go to the hotel. Like you're going to be hungover by the time you get to the hotel. And also it's your first day there. Like take it easy, dude.
Right.
You know, you don't need to. So I promise this is important. So I'm sandwiched between these two guys. So this is also funny. I got upgraded, but to a middle seat.
You get first class?
No, Comfort Plus.
Uh-huh.
But to a middle seat, which is like, is that even an upgrade?
Depends on the leg room in the regular seats.
Okay, dude. So I'm sitting next to the fucking number 2 and number 3 in the rotation for fucking UT Austin. These big grass-fed, these guys are throwing 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. They just look like these giant baseball playing bros.
Love that.
Okay, and they're
Okay.
perfectly nice, but they're drinking a lot. They each ordered 4 drinks during the flight.
Wow, that is.
So I'm in between these guys. I'm
That's
just
a
like,
lot.
I'm their bitch, dude. These are 2 big boys. So pen time comes. They're kind of grabbing, looking, and they see me with the pen. Hey, can I borrow that? Sure. So I let the guy to the right of me borrow it. And then
I could just picture them holding the pen in a fist and writing like that, like
Dude.
cavemen.
So yeah, literally. But no, they were fine. They seemed like guys who like whatever. They seem like New York. They live in New York now, but like they still have their like Southern eye through fastballs all afternoon, every day thing going on. So the one guy hands the pen back to me, and then the other guy, I don't know what he thought, but he sort of like motioned to the pen without really asking, which I thought was rude. But I was like, whatever, like it doesn't matter. So I give the guy the pen. He then, dude,
It follows.
meaning like this
It
is
follows that he would want the pen.
totally all good, fully all good. Didn't hold it against him. Dude, I look over there 30 seconds later. The guy's looking at the customs form. He has the pen in his fucking mouth.
Oh.
He put the pen in his mouth, dude. And I'm kind of like, he clearly doesn't realize he's doing this. This is just like a habit.
Yeah.
He's used to doing this. Am I going to be like, dude, come on? You know what I mean? Do I want to do that to myself now? Do I want to be like, dude, come on? And so I'm just sit there and I'm like watching this guy putting my pen in his mouth. He might as well have been banging me, dude. It's the most like, he is just alpha dogging me so hard. I'm not doing shit about it. I'm like,
Might as
this.
well have been banging me.
I'm so annoyed. And then he like puts the pen down and starts answering emails. And Hill Dog had asked me for the pen also. And she was actually further back in the plane, which I know is a different topic. I had offered her the upgrade, by the way. She declined. So then I'm like, hey, are you almost done? I'm going to bring it back to my girlfriend. And he was like, oh yeah. And he was like, perfectly nice. But dude, that is completely unacceptable.
Yeah, that's no good.
But should I have said something?
No.
Right?
It just is what it is. unfortunately, unless you see him doing it and you're like, really? In that moment, you catch him, then he would probably have apologized. By the way, there was a great Curb Your Enthusiasm episode about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pen in the mouth?
Yeah, so
No
it was
way.
the one where the whole Seinfeld cast came back and pretended as if they were doing like a reunion episode
I've
of
actually
Seinfeld.
seen this episode.
And in the read through, Larry lets George borrow a pen. He asks for it, and Larry looks over, and George is like putting it in his ear. He's got it in his mouth, and then he goes to give it back to him, and Larry's like, "I don't want that." But this is great.
Dude, it's like, it was such a thing.
Did their stature, their broad-shoulderedness, make you less likely? Did that affect your decision as to whether you would reprimand them, the guy?
A little bit. It was also a tag team situation. And like, there's something annoying too about being with two guys who are together, who are just like now behaving over you. They're talking, they're doing this, they're handing, and
Behaving over you.
dude, it was like the guy's computer was like almost like it was gonna fall off his thing. Like the whole thing was just like stressing me out. And then it didn't help, dude. It didn't help that they were huge. Nothing about it helped. They seemed like perfectly nice guys. But still, dude, it's like, can you just have a little consideration for others?
What airline was that?
Delta.
And what status do you have with Delta?
Gold.
Wow.
I know. I'll get platinum this year. I know. Dude, that was the other thing I didn't tell you. The guy comes up, he says to the guy, "Thank you for being platinum." And then he says to me, and I'm not kidding, he goes, "Thanks for being gold." He laughed because he had just thanked the guy for being platinum, thanked me for being gold, thanked the other guy for being platinum.
The flight attendant did?
Yes, so now I'm just in this like platinum Eiffel Tower, dude. It's just like I had just been like,
Well, that's the difference between platinum and gold. Is you got middle seated. You got bitched.
I got bitched. It was tough, dude.
Wow. Did the guy say that with snark in his voice?
Yes.
Really?
Which seems so inappropriate. He didn't mean to, but he just realized how insane it was to thank someone for being platinum and then thanking me for being gold, which is a much lesser status. And it didn't feel too
Gold
good.
is still pretty darn good status, though.
I know. I mean, without the COVID rollover, I never would have gotten there. And I also have like a Delta card still.
Okay. I'm considering.
I mean,
You know who? Our friend Armand.
dude, don't get the reserve, dude.
Armand
The reserve-
has diamond status.
Wow.
For 2 years.
Wow.
Because he locked it in with COVID and they extended it a year and he already had it.
Wow.
So he's got diamond status for the next 2 years on Delta.
That's sick.
He flies New York, LA like
All the time.
once every other week or whatever and only uses that Delta Reserve card and he gets bumped to first class
Every single time.
routinely.
Damn, dude. That's crazy.
How cool is
That's
that?
the hardest flight to get upgraded on too, that New York to LA flight. Because everybody has status on that flight.
Sierra just flew home from LA
Got it.
got upgraded to first class.
Bless her fucking heart.
Full
Bless her heart.
Pelican bed.
She deserves it. Damn.
Full Pelican bed. She, got home and told me that she's like, I don't know, I made a mistake. I ordered the filet and it wasn't very good. Get
Boo
the
fucking
fuck
who.
out of here.
Take a hike, lady.
I got the choice between, crackers and those stupid popcorner chips.
Oh, that's JetBlue.
I mean, yes, it was JetBlue.
I flew JetBlue
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
I extended. That's something for another.
You stayed longer?
Yeah. We talk about it. We could probably get into that. That we can save that for the next episode.
Let's hold it.
One last thing.
Like I almost did.
One last thing. And then we can
But
do
couldn't.
we can do an email. We can do an email too.
Okay.
If you can hold it. If you can hold it a little
Please,
longer.
please.
Okay, two things. First of all, dude, I think it's really fucked up that when I arrive to Mexico, I get off the plane. I haven't drank a single bit of alcohol on the plane. I get off the flight and they say, "Enjoy your vacation." That annoys me. Why am I on vacation? What if I'm not on vacation?
What?
Does every person go to Mexico only for vacation?
Where were you flying into?
Cancun?
Yeah, come on.
Well, dude, like there's other thing. It's automatically vacation.
Yeah.
100%.
If you were going to Mexico City, they wouldn't say that.
you don't think so?
Correct.
Okay.
Cancun is vacation.
Vacationy.
It's to me it's
I'll
the
stand
same
down
as
on that.
you fly into Vegas and someone says good luck.
Okay.
It's just the parlance of
Okay.
that place.
Fine. Fair.
My thought.
Fair. Done.
Yeah.
You're right. I stand down on that. Let's do a little email ski.
Boy, we have been sharp today.
That was solid.
Today's been sharp. It's been sharp
We've been
today.
sharp. It's good. Welcome back. The boys are back from down south. We're
Very
feeling
amphibious episode.
good. Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one. This is quick, and there might be an answer to this, or there might not be. So here we go. Sup, boys? Got in a little debate with a lady friend today, and we cannot settle it. Here's the question: did humans invent or discover math? My argument was math was invented because we assign meaning to the words we associate with math. Her argument is that we discovered math because math would still exist regardless if we know what it is or not.
Holy moly. What a meta question.
That's pretty good. It's a pretty good one.
That is that's the sort of question where I wonder, I mean, I feel like there have been other people that have tackled this.
Can we get a quick Google on this as we discuss?
I feel like this is probably a question that has caused lots of debate. What's your thought?
To me, her argument feels right. Right? Like would math just exist? Dude, I don't know, actually. I don't know. They're both good. Both sides of the argument are good.
All right, so let's think on the most basic terms, right? Cavemen, why did they need math? Well, it's because I guess they're talking about how many antelope they killed that day, and do they know that they need another one? Well, how many do we have? We killed 3. We typically eat 4.
Right.
There's your math.
Right. So even if they were going, then and gesturing,
Yes,
and then drawing on the Altamira caves with, papaya nectar, it's still a form of math, right?
I think so.
Regardless of terminology.
I think that's
Measurement.
I think that's math for me on its most basic terms.
So
Or
does
like-
society have to exist for math to be relevant?
Yeah, they're moving from one cave to the next, and they do a head count. Do we have everyone?
Right.
Our tribe? Everyone good? We're going. Oh shoot, Dave's missing. That's math. They count.
have
they,
one fewer
They count the amount of people. I don't know.
So and even say the motion of the earth, whatever. I guess it doesn't matter. Is math a form of measurement of things that therefore exist? Chris, is there some kind of answer here?
Every article I click on, there's a different answer, so it doesn't
Wow.
seem.
So
there's
this is a
like
great debate.
definitive-
But there is a lot on this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want me to read some of it, or?
I don't. I mean, sure. If you see something that's succinct and seems very compelling.
It's gonna take me some time to find.
Okay.
That.
I don't know. I think my answer is in a way I want to say discovered, and I think part of the reason for that is that because I know that as far along as we are with math today, new math is being discovered.
Right.
New proofs are being used. There's math researchers, there's math labs.
You probably know people who are inventing math.
My roommate who was on The Bachelor.
Oh my God, I
worked in
forgot.
a math
That guy's
research lab.
like a Goodwill Hunting situation where they're making breakthroughs.
Yeah, exactly. They're
Right.
finding new way. It's almost like biology. They're just finding new ways to move forward in math theory. I mean, who knows what's being accomplished at that stage? But
Right.
it lends itself to computer programming and engineering and so many other ways of making the world more efficient, more seamless. So I don't know. I'm a big math fan, by the way. And to this day, I resent my sophomore and junior year math teacher for being so shitty.
Being bad at teaching
It
it or being a shitty
stunted
person?
my mathematic progress.
I'm not good
And
at
made
that.
me think I'm not a math person. I'm an English and history writing type person. But that was simply a product of having one horrible teacher for 2 years in a row.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Damn, dude.
What do you think? You think
I-
discovered or
to your point? Yeah,
invented?
it's all there, right? It's there. We're discovering ways to measure things that exist because the things, it's a fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact still needs to be discovered. It's almost like mining the blockchain,
Yeah.
right? It's like there. I don't know.
I mean, and you wonder,
Your point
okay,
makes
does
sense.
the world need math? And then I look at that. What is it? Avogadro's number.
I don't even know what that is.
It's that. I think that's right. Could you look that up, Chris? Where it's that number that just, it's a ratio that constantly shows up in nature.
Oh, that's
I
crazy.
think it's Avogadro's number, but it might not be. That might be a different thing.
Avogadro constant is the proportion. Oh my god! Proportionality factor that relates to the number of constituent particles in a sample with the amount of substance.
This
in
is
that
not
sample.
it.
Okay.
This isn't it. That's a term. Avogadro's number is a constant from chemistry. So I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
Euclidean, is it? No, it's not Euclid. There's some fucking ratio that like shows up in nature all the time in like flower petals.
look
The
it up.
distance between them is this number to like 5 decimal points.
Describe that one more time. I'll Google it.
Ratio in nature number. Look that up. It's Fibonacci. Fibonacci. I think it's Fibonacci. Is it Fibonacci? The Fibonacci sequence? FIBOBBONNACCI or something?
Yes.
Fibonacci sequence
Yes.
can also be seen in a way that tree branches form or split.
The divine proportion.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
divine proportion.
crazy.
This is it.
That's dude.
It's the Fibonacci sequence.
Well done, dude.
Sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to mislead you. You probably this is where I'm sure there were people at home banging on their steering wheel, being like, "It's the Fibonacci sequence." Yeah, that number. So that having a number like that makes me think that math was meant for humans to discover, and that we cannot lay claim to it.
I'm good on that. I'm good with that too. That feels good to me.
I found a little thing that like does both sides. If you want me to read it.
You sure?
Sure.
First, there is the Platonic theory. Greek philosopher Plato argued that math is a discoverable system that underlines the structure of the universe. In other words, the universe is made of math, and the more we understand this vast interplay of numbers, the more we can understand nature itself. To put it more bluntly, mathematics exists independent of humans, that it was here before we evolved and will continue on long after we're extinct.
Got it.
The opposing argument, therefore, is that math is a man-made tool, an abstraction of free time and space that merely corresponds with the universe. Just consider elliptical planetary orbits. While such an elliptical trajectory provides astronomers with a close approximation of the planet's movements, it is not a perfect one.
Jesus.
Cool.
Chris did not anticipate having to do extremely
lot there.
complicated
Big words. That was.
Yeah.
I feel like I was in class again.
Yeah,
I was
literally.
like, oh man.
Nice. Well, so much to think about. What a thought-provoking
There's good stuff in
episode
there.
that was.
That's good stuff.
Lots to contemplate. Pose those questions to your significant other over a beer, and see how far you get. Whether or not you can swim among already preset fishing lines. Whether if you're sitting in the aisle seat on a 2-hour flight, 2.5-hour flight, you should get up to use the bathroom. And of course, whether math is either discovered or invented by humans.
Very good stuff.
Yeah, lots of fun. Three-headed monster there. We are Oops the Podcast, as always. I think there are some tickets left for our Boston live show. We are at City Winery on March 24th. We're very excited for that.
So we have to clarify. There are some I think available to the late show. The earlier
Just
one
the
we
late
showed,
show.
they sold out.
We sold the first show out. So we hope to see you guys at that one. In addition, I'm at New York City Gotham Comedy Club April 8th and 9th, and I have a whole bunch of dates coming up. I'm actually coming back to Boston to do my stand-up show at Laugh Boston. That's in May as well. Go to francisells.com to get your tickets and check out that, because we hope to see you.
All right, my Iraq video is going to be done pretty soon, and I think it's going to be awesome. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm going to be in Seattle this summer in July. More details come there. I think I'm doing a headlining show in New York City as well, locking that date in. I have cool stuff coming up. It's going to be good. And I'm going to be on the road with Ricky and Whitney.
Where
a
can
bit as
we
well.
where can we find out
My
where you're gonna
website
be?
as well, notjulio.com.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you, listeners, for recommending that I buy that domain. It was
Nice.
brought to my attention that it had not been bought yet, and it solved the problem.
Good.
So that's it. See you guys soon.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.